Hello and welcome to an album a day, day 372, going through my vinyl and media collection. I know I'm all bundled up today. It is freezing cold here right now. The thermostat says 24 degrees, but it feels more like I live in Alaska. To my friends in Canada, this is probably like a warm summer day. To you guys, but I'm still acclimating from 20 years in the desert. Anyway, we're going to put that aside and talk about the album of the day. We're talking about Uriah Heep and one of their reissue deluxe albums. This one is Boom Head First. You'd think that David Coverdale would have used that as a title, but no, Uriah Heep did. I really like this cover, actually. It's like they're seeing pictures of like, the fresh windblown desert with no footprints or, tracks or stuff on it, or, kind of like when the snow first falls, right? No one's gone out yet, and you just see it just like this fresh blanket of snow that's untouched. There's something really magical about that. So I'm a big fan of the album cover. Have no idea what's going on in the background here. Looks like some potential mayhem. I've seen things like this driving through New Mexico. I've never really been close to one, so I don't really know the scale of it. I've seen some in Arizona too that were kind of small, but some of the ones in New Mexico driving across the freeway, I think I-40, I want to say. I don't know if that's right, but whichever one it was, they look absolutely massive. Excuse me. So got the writing up there as well. But yeah, so I really dig this cover. This one is not quite the mint condition that I have the other ones in, and it's probably my own fault. I think one time I put it in the tray and I missed the little slider thing, and it got a little bit bent right there on the book. Other than that, it is pretty pristine. Yeah, and it went all the way through, because you can see in the back there. So that's definitely from where the that little tab on the CD front case would be. Of course, we get the band, we get the information on the songs. Not too thick of a book this time, but still lots of great stuff. And of course, information on all the bonus tracks, which is great. On the back, we get the typical back that we've been seeing. I showed you that upside down, didn't I? Well, that was dumb. There you go. There's that. And then, of course, we have the CD. Very nicely done once again. I really like that texture, because you get that desert, feel, the crack lines and all that. But I really like that blue color. That's so tempting to paint walls that color, if I ever get to the point where I can paint walls. And of course, then we have the actual reel-to-reel box picture in there. But yeah, this is really cool. Some great tracks on this album. Let me go over them with you. We open with The Other Side of Midnight, which is a killer opening track. Stay on Top, which was one of the first. I know they had a video for that, because I remember like the lightning strikes and everything, but that was probably the second, either the second or third song I got to know, because I don't know if I saw that video before or after we got the Abominog 45, which would have had Son of a Bitch on the back. But yeah, Stay on Top, absolutely killer track. Lonely Nights, Sweet Talk. Sweet Talk is another one that I just absolutely love. Then we go to Love is Blind, Roll Overture. Not a big fan of the title, but I really like the song. Red Lights, excellent song. Rollin' the Rock, Straight Through the Heart, and Weekend Warriors. I mean, it's just a great album. Then we get some bonus tracks, of course. We get the EP track for Playing for Time. Then we get an extended demo for Searching. Extended demos are interesting because sometimes they're completely different versions. They're like, we're just like, we want to record it so we can listen to it, analyze it, talk about it, make decisions, whatever. And sometimes they're way different from the actual final song. So I do often find those interesting. Then we get 3 live tracks, The Other Side of Midnight, Lonely Nights, and Angel. So all really cool stuff. Angel might be, yeah, that's not on this album. So that's always interesting too, to have live tracks that aren't on the album. Then you kind of associate those songs with each other. But yeah, this is a great one, guys. Definitely worth checking out. So there's that. this weekend, what do we got? So Saturday, tomorrow, we have Mark Roback returns for part 2 of our TV themes dive. We do 4 episodes on that. You'll be getting those on Saturdays over the coming weeks. And then Sunday, that very special interview with a composer in Colorado, which I was really excited to talk to him and learn about this music sound called noise. We talk about drones in music and all kinds of stuff. So really fascinating stuff, especially for you technical guys and sound designers too. It's going to be very interesting to you guys as well. Other than that, we're back on schedule for I was going to say for the Magicians podcast, but for Deep Purple Smoke on the podcast. A little bit of an update there. So listen to a new interview with singer Ian Gillan yesterday. He said that the new album will be out in June. Course, because that conflicts a little bit with the episodes that I had lined up for my revisits. All the episodes that I have guests on, I did solo reviews of all of those songs because there's so much that I miss when I have a guest on, and I was able to find a lot of stuff in there that I'd never heard before. So really worth doing that season, but there's a lot of episodes because I had a lot of guests on. And that will cut in through June going into July. So the question that I have for myself right now is, how do I want to integrate the new songs? So what I'm thinking is, I think the best thing to do would be to not do a review of the new songs right away. Give myself a couple of weeks. And I don't know if it's going to be early June or late June, where we're at there. So maybe give myself a couple of weeks with the new album, get used to the songs a little bit before I do like a rush review. And then I'm like, oh, there's so much I didn't really know about these songs yet. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to run all of the solo visits from the guest episodes. There's like 30 of them. Run all of those first. By then, I should have a pretty good grip on the new album again, depending on the actual release date, and then go with that. And then I've got one more short bonus season after that. August and the majority of September will just be down to the Hask and Cask podcast, which is good for me because I do podcast announcements every day. It does get a little tiring. And then the new short-lived podcast will come out. That one's on the band Samhain, Glenn Danzig's band between the Misfits and Danzig's solo career. So Samhain, they just had 3 albums and a couple of EPs, so not a huge amount, but it's going to be about, I think 10 weeks was about right. And really found some interesting stuff in there. Those are all recorded, all in the can, ready to go. Then we'll have a break from through that rest of November, in December, and then in January we'll be gearing up to start the Rainbow podcast, which will be my last planned band podcast. And then after that, just the Hask and Cast podcast until I run out of things to talk about. So yeah, that's where we're at. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I hope everybody's staying warm. To my friends all around the world, really, or I've only really heard about North America, people in Nashville and places like that, in Canada that have lost power in these frigid temperatures. I feel for you guys. The 2 best words I can give you that I gave my buddy Jerry: blanket fort. If you don't have a generator, which I highly recommend, definitely want to just bury yourself in as many blankets, but leave a breathing hole. You want to make sure that you have access to fresh air, as frigid as it might be. You guys all take care. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.